Nanda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Om Vishnu Bhad Panuman Supari Prajacharya Stotra Satvishna A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Raj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kundagiri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Gangamayi Ki Jai Jamanamayi Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Tathati Shapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jatapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganathan Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Pravijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lolita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kamshana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hori Priye Vanchakolpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindho Bhyevacha Patidanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Is it too freezy for you? Is it all right? Very nice. Okay, good. So we're celebrating the Snan Yatra of Lord Jagannath. Lord Jagannath means Krishna, the Lord of the universe, who appears in this form and is worshipped especially in Puri, and who was in particular worshipped by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during the last years of his life, and he stayed in Jagannath Puri. The Snan Yatra means that the bathing ceremony of Lord Jagannath. it's understood that after this ceremony, Lord Jagannath catches a cold and he is in seclusion for some days. And his pujaris are feeding him some medicine in the form of fruit juice. And then he recovers and he appears for the Rath Yatra. So one might ask that if Krishna is supposed to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, how is it that he's catching a cold? What is going on here? Because it's understood that Lord Krishna's body is Satchidananda Vigraha. It's made of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. It's beyond all material conditions. He's not subject to any material afflictions. We're subject to all material afflictions. You leave this window open for another half an hour and I'll be out for a week. Because I have this material body. Yeah. It's a big yard out there, and there's only one window over here. So I distracted myself. No one to blame but me. No, it's all right. Just I'll close my mind. That's better. So, in this material world, my body is subject to all sorts of problems. That's inevitable. We may go to this doctor or that doctor. We may take this medicine, that medicine, but some trouble will always be there. But Lord Jagannath, why should he have problems? Why should he catch cold? It's understood that these are Krishna's pastimes. For us, there's birth, there's death, there's old age, there's disease. But for Krishna, there's only Leela, pastimes. He performs the pastime of birth. Devaki Janma Bhava said that he takes birth, but he's unborn, Ajat. It's said that he becomes, that he dies, but again, that's his pastime. And in the middle, so many pastimes. So this catching a cold is also Lord Jagannath's pastime. And why does he do these things? It's to increase the feeling of his devotees, to increase the love of his devotees. The devotees have the feeling that Krishna has a cold and we have to do something and we can't see him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the role of the devotee, was feeling so much separation from Lord Jagannath during those days before the Rath Yatra festival. So there was another pastime also that Krishna got a headache. The Nard came to see Krishna. How are you doing? No, I'm having a headache. What to do? What to do? No, some cure is there that if I get the dust of a devotee on my head, that will cure the headache. So Nard thought this is easy business. He went to see some great Gyanis, great learned men. And Krishna's got a headache, if you could please give the dust. So they said no. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If we give the dust from our feet, we'll go to hell. So we can't do that. And Nard went to see some big yogis. They said the same thing. No, we can't. But then he went to Vrindavan. So the Brajbasis were there. How's Krishna? No, Krishna has a headache. So then immediately they were in great distress what to do. Well, Krishna said that if he gets the dust from the devotee's feet on his head, then he'll be cured. At once they began scraping their feet. Take the dust, take the dust. Don't you know that you'll go to hell? Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Well, let us go to hell, but let Krishna's headache be cured. This is the devotee. Feeling for Krishna. When Krishna was in the coils of the Kalyanag, then practically everyone was fainting. Krishna is our life and soul. We're just living for Krishna. And now Krishna's been captured by this horrible poisonous snake. He's going to die. Not only he's going to die, it looks like he's already dead, captured by the coils of the serpent, poisonous serpent. Yashodamai was throwing herself in the Jamuna. The devotees had to hold her back. Everybody's crying. The cows are crying. The Brajbasis are crying. So finally, Krishna saw everyone is so overwhelmed. All right. Then he began dancing on the hoods of the Kalyanag and beat him down. And everybody was celebrating. So, why does Krishna do these things? Why didn't he just jump in the Jamuna, subdue the serpent, and come out again? But he performs this pastime of appearing to be practically defeated, just to increase the loving feelings of his devotees. This is Krishna's business. How to increase the pitch of the loving dealings between himself and his devotees. Buddha bhava samandita. What is that verse? Hmm? Buddha bhava samandita. Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. Ham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samandita. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. I'm the source of everything, Krishna says. Mm-hmm. The source of everything is the impersonal Brahma? No. Brahmano hi pratishthanam. I'm the source of the impersonal Brahma also. Aham adir hi devanam. I'm the source of the devatas also. Sarvasya, I'm the source of everything. Mata sarvam pravartate. Everything comes from me. Iti matva bhajante ma. Those who know this engage in my devotional service. How do they engage in devotional service? As routine business? Perform some rituals, perform some yagyas, chant a few mantras, do some ceremonies. Buddha bhava samandita. They're acting with bhava. Bhava means ecstatic love for Krishna. Ecstatic love for Krishna. There are different stages of devotional service. For some pre-devotional stage, there are religious duties that we perform according to our ashram, grahastashram, brahmacharya ashram, sannyasashram. According to our occupation, there are different duties we perform. That also should be done for Krishna. Then more advanced, there's giving to Krishna. Let me do this work for Krishna's satisfaction. At least let me give some results of my work for Krishna. More advanced, let me practice the rules and regulations. And more advanced, let me simply be absorbed in love for Krishna. The goal is how to love Krishna. Srila Prabhupada one time said, we should not forget our goal, which is to become mad after Krishna. And the whole Vrindavan is mad after Krishna. They're not just officially devoted to Krishna. They're mad after Krishna. They can't stop thinking of Krishna. They're always wanting to serve Krishna. So that's our goal. And with that in mind, or for that to enhance that purpose, this Snan Yatra is there, the Ratha Yatra is there, so many ceremonies are there. Why these celebrations, Govardhan Puja, Ratha Yatra, Janmashtami, Radhashtami? It's to increase our ecstatic love for Krishna, to attract or revive our natural love for Krishna. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhu Kamunai Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Koryeta. This love for Krishna is automatic, is there in the heart. And as we hear about Krishna and perform service, various kinds of service to Krishna, that love is reawakened. So this Snan Yatra is part of that, how to have some feeling that now Lord Jagannath is absent, and we're counting the days when he'll be present before our eyes. Jagannath Dashami Nayan Patagam Pavatune. Then the Rath Yatra comes. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed this. He was so disappointed when Jagannath was not to be seen, that he left Puri and went to some other place, Amala. But when the Rath Yatra took place, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was feeling that now Krishna's there. So these festivals and ceremonies have life when we think of Krishna with some understanding who is Krishna and some affection, love for Krishna. But we can't invent also that by the Snan Yatra, Krishna catches a cold, and this happens and that happens. Now let's think of another thing. And we invent some ceremony, we invent some ritual, we invent some pastime. That's not accepted. These things, their life is our the life of the festival is our feeling, our our feeling for Krishna. But it's not that simply, oh, I have some inspiration, I have some feeling, so I've introduced something new, something new, something new. That becomes a disturbance. Shruti Smriti Puranadi Panchuratra Vidindana Akantiki Harir Bhakti Utpataya Lokopite. We're following this Snan Yatra, Rath Yatra, Janmashtami, because these things are mentioned in the Shastras. In the Vedic literature, what are these different festivals? How to perform the various festivals? What is the meaning of these festivals? These things are all there. But if we concoct something new out of our own imagination, then it becomes just a disturbance. Utpataya or kolpate. Kolpate means imagining something. utpata, off the track, off track. So we have to be very careful also. It's not that by my sentiment, I invent something, I invent something, I invent something else. But the sentiment has to follow the on the railway track of the Shastras. We have to follow the track. Or Mahajana Yena Katasapanta. We have to follow in the footsteps of the Mahajanas. What the Acharyas have shown, that we'll accept. If we invent something new, that's not acceptable. In the deity worship, in the festivals, in the classes, in the kirtans, we can't introduce something new. We can't introduce something that we heard from some professional speakers or professional singers or professional actors. We can't introduce something from films and soundtracks. We can't introduce something from the sentimental devotees that we may find in this holy place or that holy place, this Babaji and that Babaji. We have to follow the Sampradaya-charyas and the direction of the Shastras. This Krishna consciousness movement is successful on that account. How is it spread all over the world? The Prabhupada said, because I've not invented anything. I'm simply presenting what Krishna says, what the Shastras say, what the Acharyas say. That's the success. Otherwise, people concoct something that Kurukshetra means this body, Panch Pandavas means 5 senses, Krishna means this, that means that. All out of their imaginations. That's not accepted. Or they imagine, they concoct something. Originally, Krishna is impersonal, then he becomes a person. All nonsense. So we have to take it from Shastra. Then the emotion will be naturally in line. Beginning is to follow, and the love will come. Just like in the traditional Indian marriages, now girls are married at what, 27, 38, something like that. But it used to be 13, 14, or even 8, 9. And the girl would still stay with her parents, but she would know that my husband is there. And under the direction of the mother, father, the girl would be said, now cook something for your husband, now bring something for your... So she was trained how to act, what to do. And then when she was a little grown up, then they would live together. But by that time, after being trained up in this way, they would be so stuck that they would be fixed for life. Not this modern tryout system. But for the whole life, this is my husband, this is, yes. So much love, so much devotion would be there. But how does it start? Just by following 8-year-old girl, what kind of love does she have? But because she's following, as she becomes mature, then so much love naturally comes. So that same thing, the love for Krishna is there within everyone. But we have to follow some system so that that love will come out, and real love, not some fake thing or sentimental thing, But real love, and real love means service also. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada translated bhakti as devotional service, not just sentimental love, service. And how is service performed? According to the directions of the acharyas. Otherwise, it just becomes a disturbance. Just like the best cooks, they follow the directions. Then, in the mature stage, how much of this you're putting? I don't know. I just. But they can do that because in the beginning they're trained exactly how to do, how to follow, and it becomes nice. So we have to follow. We have to follow. Prabhupada said, simple thing, just follow. And he was very particular that in the worship of the deity, everything should be very authentic, very authorized, very much in accordance with the Shastra. Then it will flourish. Otherwise, by sentiment, it will go on for some time, and gradually it will become all nonsense. Someone has this sentimental idea, someone has that sentimental idea. Someone wants to dress Krishna like a businessman, someone likes to dress Krishna like a surfer, someone wants to dress Krishna like a Bollywood actor. No, we have to do everything according to the Shastra. Then everyone will appreciate. And then we'll also appreciate. Krishna will appear. Krishna will appear. So this Snan Yatra is a very authentic performance. It's been going on in Puri for no one knows how long. And followed by the Rath Yatra. Now Rath Yatra festival is coming. This is not just a, what would you say, another parade. But actually, this Jagannath is Krishna. And those who are seriously understanding Krishna consciousness will see that here's Krishna, and he's giving the devotees the chance to serve him. He's giving the people the chance to see him and to take some prasadam, hear some chanting, hear something about him. So he's the Lord of the universe. He's merciful to all the people in the universe. So this Jagannath Rath Yatra will be the next festival. There's also the Gundicha Marjana, another festival. Actually, we have so many festivals in Krishna consciousness. We could have a festival every weekend. Different pastimes of Krishna. Eventually, we'll do that. But now this Snan Yatra is performed today, and we'll be missing the darshan of Lord Jagannath for some days, and then he'll come out for the Rath Yatra. All right. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Do we have time for a question or two, or we're on a, how are they doing back here? A few minutes. Any question? Early Bhatta Prabhu.
Lord Chaitanya made Puri his place where he did sannyas. And he came, and we understand through Prabhupada's teachings, he came demonstrating and teaching the highest kind of love for Krishna and for us. But he came to a place where this Jagannath Baladev is not around him, not there. So how do we understand this?
How do we understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood? He spent his final days in Puri, not in Vrindavan. And there, it's not Radha Krishna, it's Jagannath Baladev, Subhadra. How do we understand these things? When he came to teach the highest love for Krishna. This mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reflects it reflects a pastime recounted in Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna, as you know, left Vrindavan. Akrura carried him to Mathura to kill Kamsa and perform other pastimes. And Krishna said that I'm just going for some days and I have to do some work in Mathura, then I'll come back. But the devotees were waiting, and Krishna never came back. But then there was some occasion of a solar eclipse. The astrologers all knew when the eclipse would be, everyone knew. And on that occasion, people would go to some holy place. So Kurukshetra, the Yadu dynasty went to Kurukshetra to observe the activities for the eclipse. Okay.
Guruji मेरे साथ है.
Mhm.
He's with me. I have no problem.
Okay, good.
See,
You're all right.
79-year-old. I'm fine.
You're ahead of me. So the Yadu dynasty went to Kurukshetra. Krishna also went. And the Brajvasis also went. But Krishna is going to be there. Let us all go. Hare Krishna. So, yeah. So they saw Krishna, but Krishna was surrounded by chariots and horses. He was in the role of a kshatriya, a prince. Chariots and horses and so many soldiers and big royal dress, everything. So the gopis and Brajvasis, no, we don't want Krishna like this. We want Krishna in Vrindavan. We want to see Krishna herding the cows, playing on his flute. We want Krishna in these as a simple cowherd boy, not with all of this. We want to bring Krishna back to Vrindavan. So they were seeing Krishna, and still they were feeling separation from Krishna. This is not how we think of Krishna. We think of Krishna the way he was associating with us before. So they wanted to bring Krishna back to Vrindavan. That was their desire. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was feeling that same mood at Puri. And it's said that this Rath Yatra festival represents the emotional process of bringing Krishna back to Vrindavan. I see Mataji standing there with a conch shell. No, you're waiting for them to finish here? You're ready.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. Hari Bol. So, this is an